I really think they should have just made Camera Girl her official name because I think it's just so perfect. That's what I'm always gonna call her. But episode 8 of Just Because, not only did it come out on time, it looked good. I'm really hopeful for the production going forward. Maybe it'll drop later down the line, but I think that 1 week break is definitely doing a lot for this, which I'm very happy for. But this episode of Just Because really made me realize that, once again, like I have these moments off and on watching anime such as Just Because, where I just realized that I watch anime a lot differently than most people, because I feel like most people, when they watch a show like Just Because, where there is multiple love interests for a main character, or any character really, a lot of times anime fans put themselves, I feel like, in that character's position and want them to go with their choice as if they were there. They want to go with the character that they like the personality best, or they find the most attractive, or things like that, where when I watch anime, I just expect, I want the character to do what I think the character would naturally do. It should build it in so we understand the character, and we know exactly how the character would act, and if he does go against his normal beliefs and ideals, the anime, if the script is strong enough, would explain why he would do that. So for me personally, when I look at our main character, I think naturally he would go to Natsumi, because that's the girl that he always has loved. That's the one that he's been kind of fighting for all along. So when you have this new character who kind of pops in, of course, like any teenage boy, he's going to get a little flustered and a little confused with his feelings if the girl that he seemingly wants to go out with isn't showing the same affection back to him, and then you have this new girl who seemingly is giving that love. Of course he is going to feel confused, so that naturally makes sense in my opinion. But if Natsumi was to confess her love, I know for a fact that he would go for her 100% and cut ties with Camera Girl. But I know a lot of people, Camera Girl is like this fan favorite, and a lot of people want him to end up with her, which when I watch anime such as this, I'm just like, well, naturally if you look at his character and what he's always been doing, it's always been for Natsumi. So it's just interesting when I look at the anime community. I mean, watch anime however you want, but for me personally, I always watch it. I'm not the main character, I'm not in control, I'm here to witness a story and to see where the characters naturally should go. And so far, the thing that I actually really like about Just Because is how perfect it feels for a high school setting, where you have a character who's always liked this one girl, but that girl never gave the same love back to him. And then you have this new girl pop in and essentially giving the love that he wants Natsumi to give him. So now you have this kind of confusion, like, well, if she's not going to give me this love, maybe I should go for this girl. So it's very interesting how they're portraying that kind of like teenage awkwardness and the love and the whole high school drama kind of relationship fiasco. And I think they're doing a wonderful job with it, and I really enjoyed it. And just overall, I thought episode 8 was a very relaxing episode. Like, I wasn't sure what we were going to expect, especially after last week's kind of like, can I ask him out, no ending. I thought it was going to be a very kind of drama or just very heavy episode, but it was surprisingly light, kind of just fun to watch. There was a lot to really enjoy about it, and I feel like it was good that they balanced some Haruto stuff in as well, and them going over to his crush's house. It was just a nice episode. The whole train situation where Natsumi, Camera Girl, and our main character are all on there, and it's kind of like this like death stare going on. It's very interesting to see kind of how this love triangle is working, and I feel like this love triangle is one of the best that I've seen in anime in quite a while, because I feel like it's implemented in a way that's not just trying to be character who has no soul is choosing over two pretty girls. No, it makes sense that Camera Girl sees him on pretty much his first day playing baseball in that whole picture scene. It gives you a motive to understand why she is attached to this guy on top of, you know, our main character's crush that he's had this entire time. It feels like this love triangle actually would work in a real life setting. So I feel like that's why this love triangle works really well. And then when we have the Haruto side of the relationships, it's just, it feels well balanced, and it feels like the writer understands what actual school life is, and it's not this fantasy BS. It actually is trying to be something that feels grounded in reality, but just using the anime medium to tell a different type of story. And that's why Just Because has been excelling in my honest opinion. Like, this episode was really well polished overall. Like, I didn't really notice any art dips for the most part. Maybe there was, but for the most part, all the close-up facial shots, they looked as they were in the early episodes, and the music once again was on point. And I just feel like this 1 week break, I feel like a lot of times when you get that recap episode, or in the case of Just Because they had like the real life setting episode, a lot of times that 1 week break, you come back and you can still see the issues, but for Just Because, it feels like they actually fixed their issues. Maybe this 1 week break shaped them to be where they are, and hopefully they're going to be able to finish these last 4 episodes with no production issues, which would be excellent and be really a breath of fresh air for the whole recap fiasco that typically happens. But this episode's good. Like, I was kind of surprised that we got that bombshell last week, because it's like, okay, we're only at episode 7, we got 5 episodes left. How are they actually going to progress the story forward? Because that was something that I would expect I'd see maybe around an episode 9 or 10 mark. But seeing how this episode progressed, definitely feels like our main character might be getting a little confused with his feelings. maybe Camera Girl's gonna play a big factor, and then we're gonna kind of shift to the end game after a couple of episodes, and we'll see where it goes. No matter who he ends up with, if he ends up with no one, I'm just here to see where the story is going to take me. When I play a game like Mass Effect, I'm in control of the story. I can choose how relationships work. When I watch anime, I'm just here to see how this is going to work, and as long as the writing does a good job to explain why characters are acting the way they are, that's all I ask for in series such as this. But I enjoyed this episode, and I can't wait for episode 9 next week. And how did you enjoy that cat just sending the text? It's such an anime moment, but I actually thought that was pretty funny and pretty awesome all in one. But let me know your thoughts. And before you leave, smack the like button, share your square. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.